Hey, good morning, John. Meteorologist Dave Nussbaum. 10 o'clock our time right now. Latest information with Hurricane Laura as it continues to get stronger here in the Gulf of Mexico. We are looking at a well-defined hurricane here, a buzzsaw shape as we like to nickname it, with a large eye showing up. Again, even the wobble and little swirls kind of showing up in the eye there. Winds are up to 125 miles per hour, still a Category 3, gusting to 155. 157's Cat 5, so again, wind gusts are close to that. Moving northwest at 16, the pressure down to 956 millibars. Talked about how low it was this morning and dropping, and it's continuing to do that as well too. The outer cloud shield is working its way on in toward part of southeast Louisiana now, so that's the overcast we see now, and bands of heavy rain coming on shore as well too. Winds gusts around 50 miles per hour, lower part of Terrebonne Parish, and we eventually will see more of these bands coming up our way as the day goes on. You can see even the radar showing the eye right now here as we go on into the last say hour or so, as the rain starting to wrap around the center there, what we can see on the radar. So rapidly intensified overnight to a Category 3, expected to be Cat 4 today. 130, actually it's now up to 145 miles per hour is what this is expected to do. So this is a mid-range Category 4 hurricane. You'll see here forecast does have it a Category 4 by 7 o'clock tonight, just off the coastline and making landfall still as a Category 4 hurricane now right across the state of Texas and Louisiana border. We're looking at not only winds of potentially 145 miles per hour, but now a new storm surge of 15 to 20 feet. That would be higher than most one-story homes, just to give you a perspective of what we're looking at with this here as it continues to work its way there, to work its way northward there by 7 a.m. on Thursday, right over top of Toledo Bend, and still a hurricane with 85-mile-per-hour winds. We'll see the surge coming on shore, already is here across southeast Louisiana, seeing the water continuing to come up. And the storm will quickly dissipate and work its way to the north and kind of work its way back in the Atlantic Ocean, where it may try to get tropical characteristics again and come back to a tropical storm. We'll have to wait then and see. But and the thing is, with the storm coming onshore here and the significant surge, we're going to see that onshore flow continuing for a couple of days after the storm is gone. Once it's up here near St. Louis, we're still going to see that onshore flow wrapping around it. So that's going to keep water levels higher here for an extended period of time. So if we do have some coastal flooding in your areas, definitely be prepared for the water to be slow to recede here until we get the lighter winds and gravity can pull the water back out across the area. Forecast models, again, in agreement with landfall here and against all the way up there to parts of North Louisiana as well. So we're going to continue watching this as it continues to basically be pretty confident of where that's going. Tropical storm warnings remain in effect for our coastal areas. We'll see those tropical storm force winds persisting as we head to the afternoon hours. You'll see here by 12 o'clock today, we'll start seeing them along the coastline and spreading the way inland, really from Baton Rouge area westward. The best chance of seeing those sustained winds throughout the day today. Now, hurricane hunters were flying into it earlier today, and the mission has currently come to an end, but we will still see more of that working its way, these missions throughout the day today. High pressure over Florida, that's why it's taking that route. They're going on the western edge of that. Trough low pressure pulling it northward too and keeping it away from the New Orleans area. But unfortunately, our friends and family over the southwestern part of Louisiana, all of western Louisiana, definitely going to feel the brunt of this. Now, what can we expect here in New Orleans? Inland, about 1 to 5 inches of rain. Same for the coastal areas too. The farther west you go, the higher the number you'll see with rain totals. Our surge level still the same here for the lakes and the coast at 2 to 4 and 4 to 7. Winds here not bad, 10 to 20, no big deal with that. We see that in typical afternoon in the summertime. And again, a little windier there, sustained winds maybe over 40, but we do need to be aware of tornadoes today. Some of these outer rain bands can rotate to little thunderstorms, and we could see a few tornadoes. Again, the surge for us here, same as earlier today, 2 to 4 from the lakes, Mississippi coast, and the eastern facing shores of our coastline. Once you go west of the river, it goes up to 4 to 7, and over toward Morgan City, 8 to 12 feet of water expected across those areas. So parts of lower Terrebonne Parish, Cogadry area already, lower Lafourche Parish already taking on water this morning, and we'll continue watching for that as well too. You'll see the high tides have passed already, but low tides will come on in for tonight. Unfortunately, that means to be going to high tide as we go on into tomorrow morning, and so that's where we are going to start seeing some of that. So Grand Isle, low tide at 4 o'clock. The tide will be coming in as the surge starts to get a little higher. Speaking of which, in Grand Isle, live look, hard to tell, but there's the Gulf of Mexico here, and it's kind of rough and choppy right now. This area probably will have a lot of water by tomorrow morning, so we'll have to wait and see just how much we get across that area. Rain totals, again, still expected to be heaviest off to our west, but we are going to continue looking at that flash flood watch for areas west of Interstate 55. East of us, no flood watch here, but we still will get the chance of some tropical downpours out there, and the tornado threat threat persists as well for the day today. So again, we'll be in that zone when it's a Category 4 here, right around parts of southeast Louisiana, south central Louisiana, watching out for some of those brief weak tornadoes across the area. So our bands are starting to come in now. We're still seeing some of them coming in from 3 o'clock this afternoon, heading on into this evening hours. So still watch out for some of these. Again, the heaviest will be closer to the center of the storm. And as we go on into tomorrow after landfall, we'll watch that intense heavy band working its way closer to Baton Rouge by lunchtime on Thursday and into the metro New Orleans area shortly thereafter. And this is where we could be dealing with some persistent rain lasting for a while, depending where that band sets up. And that could lead to some street flooding issues for tomorrow. So be aware of that across our area. And then more rain expected, even those storms to the north, as it draws up all that moisture. And that's why we still have the threat for the high water lasting for a couple of days across our area. So again, now we are looking at a 125-mile-per-hour Category 3 hurricane, expected to become a Category 4 hurricane before landfall, through landfall, with winds potentially of 145 miles per hour here with the latest with Hurricane Laura.